What's going on, YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg Orcus, and today I'm back with a blast from the past of a rogue deck, the Dark Box, led by Okidogi. With the Chain Crazed attack for 3 energy, you do 260 damage if you're poisoned. You can use Poisonous Musculature on your first turn going second to get those dark energy in play, or we can use cards like Janine's Secret Art to not only poison our active, but also get more energy into play. And if we're worried about poisoning our active to get that 260 damage, well, we've got Pecharunt EX with Subjugating Change and also functions as our pivot, as well as Brute Bonnet to make sure that we are poisoning ourselves and swinging for as much damage as possible. And if you're worried about swinging for max damage on like Dragapult and getting up to that 300 number, well, you've got a couple cards to help out with that. One is Binding Mochi, which allows us, since we're poisoned, to do 40 more damage and push 300. Now, if we use Brute Bonnet, which poisons both active Pokemon as well as Perilous Jungle, we do create an environment where we can swing for 330 damage with 30 of those 3 damage counters or 30 damage coming from the poison. And what's nice about that is it doesn't allow your opponent to use Fezandipiti, since the Pokemon is KO during the Pokemon checkup phase and not on your turn. So if you're up against Pikachu EX and Jolteon or Dragapult EX, which are generally pretty hard Pokemon to one-shot, this deck actually pretty consistently deals with them. And if you're worried about the early game and setting up, you can use the single prize Pecharunt, or even in the mid game if you're in a tight spot, we're playing a bunch of dark energy. Poison Chain to stop a retreat play is actually huge when so many decks are relying on Latias and not many switch outs. Or you could use Munkidori to kind of fix the damage counters, get you out of tight spots. What's nice too is, like, with the Pecharunt, you have a great single prize attacker that can set up damage for an Okidogi. You could deal with your opponent's active single prize Pokemon, if they're setting up like Dreepies or Ralts or stuff like that. So the deck overall is very versatile, very consistent. I don't want to spend too much time talking about like every card in the list because I feel like it is a pretty standard Dark Box. Past that, we've got Fezandipiti to draw 3. We've got Bloodmoon Ursaluna as a good late game attacker, and then we also have Mew EX, which is nice for restart as well as genome hacking, and we can set that up with our 4 copies of Energy Switch, and then Secret Box for added consistency. Now, I think one of the things that's kind of nice about this list in specific is we are using Genesect with the Ace Nullifier ability. So if we get one of our 5 tools, one of our Binding Mochis, Ancient Booster Capsules, or even our Bravery Charm if we're up against Dragapult, down on Genesect, we do shut our opponent down from using any Ace specs from their hand, which is pretty much every Ace spec in the game right now. So that is super nice on Genesect, and I feel like with this deck, you do kind of have that bench space where you can go in with Genesect or Munkidori. I feel like rarely do you have the space for both of them, but in general, we could totally make a room for one of them, especially if we didn't play Squawk. So past that, for the rest of the deck, again, it's pretty standard. We're running a very high count of Janine's Secret Art just to get the energy in play, because this deck does very well. Once the energy is in play, you kind of just get rolling. You start steamrolling your opponent. There's not much they can do. So we want to prioritize the Janines, play high count of those, as well as Arven to dig out our tools, such as a Nest Ball and Ancient Booster Capsule to instantly set up Brute Bonnet. Past that, we're running 2 copies of Carmine, so if we need to go for the turn 1 donk, we do actually have a shot with it. 2 copies of Iono and 1 copy of Boss's Orders, which seems like a very low gust count, but we are playing 2 copies of Countercatcher as well. This deck sometimes does fall behind a little bit, so I do like the 2-to-1 Countercatcher to Boss split. However, if you're running this deck and you're like, man, I'd rather a second boss, you could easily cut 1 Countercatcher and run 2 boss, 1 Countercatcher. But the other play I do like too is with Secret Box. You can take Janine's Secret Art, Countercatcher, so you've got a Gust and Energy Acceleration with 1 card from Secret Box. For recovery, we're running 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Rod for Energy Surge. We've got the 1 Earthen Vessel, and like I said before, the 4 Energy Switch, just to make sure that we're using any Pokemon we need to attack. And then the 1 copy of Pal Pad, just to bring back again like a Boss's Orders. Maybe we need like a 5th copy of Janine's just to keep our energy looping. We got options with the Pal Pad. Overall, I think this deck does have room to grow. I think this list could be changed up a little bit and optimized a bit more, but I've been running this one myself in my free time a little bit, and I have to say it is kind of fun, and it does pretty well against some of the decks in the format. Do I think it's the answer for everything? Probably not. Like, I think against like Raging Bolt, another basic EX deck that maybe sets up a little faster, things could get difficult, but I think this deck at the very least has a chance against everything, which is kind of nice to run right now. So yeah, I would definitely give this deck a shot. And before I hop into today's video, I just got 2 announcements. One of them is that I got that TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below. So if you're going to TCG Player for any singles, decks, or deck accessories, make sure you hop on over to TCG Player and support the channel by ordering cards within 48 hours of clicking on the link. The other news, which is way bigger, is we got the Battle VIPs podcast out on Spotify, but it also has its own YouTube channel now. The link to the YouTube channel will be in the description down below, so make sure you go check out the channel. Everyone on my new Pokemon TCG team, Draw Past TCG, is also thinking about starting up, some mini series, whether it's like informative teaching series, deck coverages, like mini like YouTube shorts as like master classes and stuff like that for some decks. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun stuff on the channel, so make sure you go check out the Battle VIPs channel. Again, link will be in the description down below. Go check it out. Now, with all of that being said, I hope you guys are ready to see some awesome Dark Box action with Okidogi, with the late game Irritated Outburst, Clutch Attacker, Pecharunt EX, and Fezandipiti, the best draw engine possibly in the format right now that every deck is running. Let's hop into today's video and see how well Okidogi EX can do. Welcome to match number 1. My opponent chose to go first, and or won the coin flip and chose to go first. So we open up with honestly a solid hand. I do have Janine Secret Art and some great Pokemon to accelerate energy too. I just want to double check. Yeah, you have to choose up to 2 of your dark Pokemon. So we can't actually directly accelerate in energy to Munkidori. However, we could get 1 energy down on Okidogi, and then I can Nest Ball for another Okidogi, Pecharunt, maybe even Brute Bonnet or something like that. Like, I don't hate getting energy there just because we do play Energy Switch. And my opponent leads Iron Hands, which instantly tells me possibly Joltik Box is something we're working with, which is pretty good because we're actually weak to fighting with many of our dark attackers. They aren't weak to grass like Roaring Moon EX, so you know, this deck does play Iron Leaves. It does play the single prize Galvantula. Those are threats that we still have to worry about. However, they don't swing for weakness in this matchup, assuming it is Joltik Box. So, you know, we got that to look forward to. And yeah, they've been the, Pokégear Crispin right there as screaming they're pulling Joltik or Squawk, or Miraidon, excuse me, to then take Joltik and whatever other Pokemon they want, which is fine. I think this is a turn where I do kind of want to get Munkidori down just because if I could move 3 damage counters from Poison onto my opponent's Joltik, that feels pretty good. And I feel like the following turn, I'm not going to do much attacking on my turn unless I top deck. I don't know. I'd have to top deck something insane to pull this off, and I don't think I can. Actually, Dark Energy does make me a little bit closer, but I think we're still pretty far off. I just want to throw down. I mean, yeah, my opponent doesn't have energy in play, so I'm not really scared of Iron Hands yet. So I'll put down the Munkidori. I'll regret that one later. And then I'll also play the Nest Ball. You know what I could do? I could go Genesect. And I know I literally said I've rarely played Munkidori and Genesect the same turn, but this is a match where I feel like we could. I think for now, honestly, I kind of just like getting the single prize Pecharunt down, or maybe, I don't know. I feel like we got so many options. Could go Brute Bonnet, get some better poison, you know, ready to rumble. Although we are going to be poisoning ourselves, so I don't really want to waste the space on Brute Bonnet and just have it be kind of useless. I think I'll get Pecharunt, just because Pecharunt is wildly useful pretty much all the time. And then here I could Janine's Secret Art and just save Carmine for next turn just to give me some draw power. I'm going to use Poisonous Musculature and just set myself up a little bit. So we'll throw a Dark Energy on this guy, I'll poison my active, which is fine. I'm going to attach the Dark Energy to Munkidori as well as Bravery Charm. Actually, you know what? I'll wait. I want them to put all the energy on Iron Hands, and then I'll attach Bravery Charm to Munkidori, just so my opponent doesn't have an awesome out to take 2 prize cards with Amp very much. I'll be at 160 HP, feel pretty good that way. So I'll take my poison damage, and then it will pass on over to my opponent, which is fine. Although, you know what I'm thinking right now, too? If my opponent does have, like, the switch out, if they get Latias down, I'm not actually going to have 3 damage counters on my active. I'll only have 2, so I won't be able to Munkidori for the full KO. So I think what I might do is just Adrenaline Brain and move the damage onto Pikachu EX, just so Resolute Heart is a little more useless. They got Arven right now, so they could get Nest Ball or Precious Trolley if they play it, and then Future Booster Energy Capsule, give them that free retreat pivot, and I think from there we kind of just, you know, do our thing, figure ourselves out. Maybe my opponent puts energy onto Pikachu EX, since it's a good attacker. Could swing for instant KO on Okidogi, would cause a bit of problems. And they go Pokégear. Give them a sport of the following turn. That's smart. Future Boost Energy Capsule, so we know they still got that free retreat into Joltik. And I'm curious to see where the energy goes. If it goes on to Pikachu, I think that would be worse for us if we don't get a great hand off Carmine. If it goes on to Iron Hands, I feel honestly just a little bit more confident to make stuff happen. But we'll see where they're Jolting charge. Or maybe they do like a 2-2 split. You know, put 2 energy on Iron Hands, then it's just a manual attach to good, 2 energy on Pikachu, and then just a attach of the electric energy, or excuse me, the metal energy, and they're good, and they could probably gear for Crispin. Actually, I think that would be the best play for my opponent overall, is to do the 2-2 split. Set themselves up to deal with Munkidori or the Okidogi. We'll make it work. Either way, we're going to make stuff happen. Unless I top deck Boss's Orders here, I think we just go Carmine, swing into my opponent. If I take my 1 prize card off Joltik, end up on an odd prize card, I'll figure it out at some other point in the game and know they're going to put 3 energy on the Iron Hands. and then just leave the 1 energy on Pikachu, which they can still Crispin for. So that is a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. I really hate, however, to get rid of a Rod like this with Carmine, but I don't know if I see another way around it. Putting the Charm on Okidogi is going to do me no good against Pikachu EX. They've doubled down on Iron Hand, so I'm just going to load this guy up and then rip the Carmine here. And then we'll see if we get anything insanely playable. Okidogi EX, Binding Mochi. Alright, nothing too crazy, but decent cards nonetheless. I'll smack down the Okidogi, and then I'll use Adrenabrain to move this damage off my active. I could pass here too. Maybe. Well, I feel like at this point it's kind of pointless. I already tagged. Yeah, no, actually, that was... Passing would not be smart. They just retreat going to Pikachu after they get Crispin. Tell me to figure it out. There's nothing I can do. So we'll swing for KO now and just make this work the best we can. If they do set up the Pikachu, I mean, yeah, we're in a tight spot. Janine's Perilous Jungle helps. I was going to say, you know, Janine's Secret Art, little Pecharunt top deck, single prize Pecharunt top deck, will make stuff happen. But it's fine. I mean, we got Pal Pad. We can put a couple good supporters back in the deck. We got Carmine for next turn. Binding Mochi for my benched Okidogi, or Pecharunt, which actually could be very relevant if I need this guy to swing into Pikachu. Actually, that might be my best play now that I think about it. And yeah, we got a good stadium to throw down too. I mean, Joltik Box rarely plays a stadium. Maybe they play one copy of something like Area Zero Under Depths. Trying to think of another good stadium. Maybe Lavencia I could see get value out of just to get energy back. And yeah, they hit the Crispin off the Pokégear, I believe, which sets them up. Or no, they hit Arven, so they just had Crispin in hand. Okay, yeah, they're chilling. They get the electric energy, the metal energy, swing a Pikachu, take 2 prize cards, tell us to figure it out. I mean, it's a tough spot for sure, but we could still take the KO with Pecharunt EX. So we're swinging for 120 damage, which is nice. Oh, but then we would be a little short, unless I do get a Brute Bonnet play. Because I'm thinking I attach Binding Mochi, swing for 160, and then I need 20 more damage. So I think I do bench Brute Bonnet here and try to set up the full play. So we'll smack Okidogi in the active in case I need to poison this guy with Subjugating Chains. And we'll see what our top deck is. Perilous Jungle, little unfortunate, not the end of the world. I am just going to play pretty much all the cards I can. I'm going to take back both of these supporters. They got great value going into the later parts of the game. We'll smack a Binding Mochi here, and now we just need Energy Ancient Booster Capsule, and we are good to go. I do not hit either of those. Okay. Annoying as it is, I think we'll be okay. Because I can still Subjugating Chains, swing for good damage, and maybe go back with a single prize Pecharunt, take a Poison KO, something like that. Oh my god, I put the wrong Pokemon in the active. What did I do? Alright, I guess I'm giving him a single prize Pokemon now. We'll pass for turn. That was such a bad misplay. I don't even know how I did. I like zoned out for a second thinking if Pecharunt EX was the right play to go in the active or to just sit behind an Okidogi wall. I don't even know when I clicked on Brute Bonnet, but I guess this is what I'm rocking with now, so unfortunate as it is. I mean, I guess we whiffed the KO anyways, so I'm really not that upset about it. I mean, dude, we'll make it work. I've got Iono in hand, which is a great supporter, just to knock my opponent's hand back down to size. I do have the manual attached onto Okidogi. If I get Energy Switch, what I could look into is Energy Switch to Okidogi EX, manual attached Janine Secret Art, Subjugating Chains, KO and Pikachu EX, call it a day. Not a bad play. Not a bad play. My opponent does not have Countercatcher access yet, which we do have to worry about with Brute Bonnet, but if I could get the tool down in time, you know, we'll get above that 120 damage level, so we don't have to worry about amping too much. If my opponent just Nest Balls for Latias, though, we are going to see the amp for 2 prize cards, and then I'm going to have to make something happen. But they might not have any energy in play after that. They go Fez. That's crazy. Why not Latias? Why do you not go Latias, switch to Iron Hands? Maybe it's prized. I think we'd be fine even if they went for amp play right now, right? They go Night Stretcher for Joltik. Okay, to set up some energy later. No, the electric energy to attach to Pikachu, set up Topaz Bolt later. That works. That works. Anyways, as I was saying, if they took the KO with Ampy very much, promote Pecharunt, swing for KO. No, they had the energy to attach Retreat. Duh, and then Amp. Okay, we're fine. It's the same play I'm literally outlining right now, right? We promote Pecharunt, swing for KO. My opponent has 0 energy in play. I Iono them to 2. Sure, they got flipped to script for 3. They'll get into a 6-card hand with their top deck and flip. That's fine. It'll still be very, very hard to get themselves rolling with that little bit of setup. So for now, I do think I like the Iono play more. I I don't think I need to poison myself. 6, 12, 18, 24. No, I don't think I need to worry about Binding Mochi doing much here. I think we're swinging just base for enough, which is all I care about right now. Let me just double check. And yeah, 240. Okay, so let's get the energy down on Okidogi. Let's Iono. Now, what would be nice is to KO them with poison damage so that they just don't win. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, we'll make it work. And we get Countercatcher Genesect too. I wish I had a tool in this hand. Oh my god. Can I flip the script and draw into literally any tool? Because they still haven't played an ace-spec, so if I could shut down Prime Catcher with the Genesect, that would feel so good. And I don't. I do with the tool. That's fine. We're not weak to Ampy very much with our board state right now. I do have Counter Catcher to take a better KO the following turn. I got Arven, which could be E-Switch and a tool. For Genesect, like, we're good. My opponent has 0 energy in play. Yes, they have Restart. Yes, they have Flip the Script. So be it. We are down 1 prize card. I'm confident we can make this happen. We got 2 Counter Catchers in hand. All right. Here we go. They promote Mew. Solid Pokemon for your treat. I don't know how they get 3 energy on play right now, though. I don't think my opponent can, but of course it's famous last words. And if they go for a Joltik play to set up another Pokemon, we just Counter Catcher KO. Even Pikachu can't do anything just because of Resolute Heart. We already have damage counters on it. It's not at full HP, so we're kind of good on that front. My opponent's going to Miraidon, probably get down another Joltik. No, they fail it. So they keep the 3 cards in hand. Do we just see the Flip the Script? Do you have any playable cards to give you Restart plus Flip? That would be annoying. I want to limit my opponent's access to their deck as much as possible, which is why I am leaning towards the Counter Catcher on Fez, assuming they get no energy in play. If even 1 energy gets down, though, instant Counter Catcher on that Pokemon. I want to make sure my opponent has the roughest time imaginable setting up. And even with that misplay on Brute Bonnet, like, I think we're okay. We did still technically whiff the KO with Pecharunt EX, so I don't think it's the end of the world. My opponent would have had to swing onto Pecharunt, which could have made things hard because then it would be lower HP, and they could Ampy very much it for 3. But no, they are just going to put down Bloodmoon Ursaluna, hit the Crispin. You know, that is a Pokemon they could attack with because it needs just 2 energy. So if they have 2 energy left in the deck, that is going to be an unfortunate... Yeah, it's going to be an unfortunate one. I'm curious if that misplay would have changed anything. Or maybe I should have just gone down, doubled down in Okidogi. I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I think that's 2 videos in a row now. I've lost match 1, which is tough. Forgot about Bloodmoon Ursaluna doing its thing. But yeah, no, my opponent is just going to drag it on out here. They do have match. I mean, at this point, I don't feel like giving it to them. They're just doing... No, they pass. What? Well, why? Did they retreat that turn? They could have used Bloodmoon. I'm so confused. What? I mean... Okay, I guess I won't say no. I think here what we do is we go E-Switch. I could take Secret Box. Don't see insane value out of Secret Box right now. I'm just going to take Secret Box Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. And I'm just going to try to capitalize off my opponent's misplay. You guys saw that. I literally had Concede in my hand. I was ready to give it to my opponent just because they were doing, like, useless things. I don't know. It's like a pet peeve of mine. Yo, if you got game, just play game. Unless you're going for, like, 8 quadrillion damage in a deck like Heatran. Then it's pretty cool. But if you're not doing all that, I really don't need to see it. I do need to poison my active here. So I do want to use the Subjugating Chains to go into Okidogi. And then I want to Counter Catcher up their Ursaluna. Because, again, we're just really limiting how much energy they have in play. Swing for 260. Perfect KO on the dot. Like I said, any basic EX, no HP modifier in the game. And we got Genesect down, so my opponent can't really play Prime Catcher on the following turn. This went from looking like a loss to my opponent forgot how to retreat. I don't think they retreated in their turn, did they? Did they, like, retreat into Mew? What did they do here? No, they didn't. So why did they not attack with Bloodmoon Ursaluna? I'm so confused. They would have taken 2 prize cards on Pecharunt and 1. Maybe they thought it was like the single prize Pecharunt for some reason. I'm not sure. I mean, either way, I'm not complaining. It is the same Pokemon, maybe, and it obviously a similar colorway on arts. Like, maybe they had it twisted. I have no idea why we're still in this. I'm just happy we are. Like, that's cool. I don't know what to count this as in terms of the record, because I know we'd like to do our, like, you know, best out of 3 for the day. I think I'll just consider this a tie while I sit here because my opponent went inactive. Maybe that's what happened. They, like, lost Wi-Fi last second. You know, they just lost full internet connection, game crash. They're just sitting there with Miraidon. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hang on a second. I mean, I'll give it another 10 seconds, and then I'll take a cut, see if my opponent is doing anything, you know, while I wait for the, you know, they timed out. They haven't taken an action, but, I mean, for the most part, hey, round 1, a tie. So I think we've tied once before, or maybe twice before on the channel. But this is definitely one of the first times. I think I'm going to say we ended something and 1. Because normally we're, you know, like 2-1, 1-2, 3-0. I think a few times I've gone 0-3 on some videos, which hurt. But, you know, it's happened before. But yeah, we are sitting in match number 1 in a tie, which is solid. I mean, hey, the deck decked. I just had that pretty bad misplay. I'm curious. Someone let me know in the comments if that actually changed the game. I'm curious. Or what you think would have happened in that situation. But yeah, I think here I'm just going to take a cut, wait for my opponent. I will see y'all in 1 second. No, they just pass. Never mind, I lied. I did all that to not cut at all. They just passed for turn, so don't mind if I just swing for KO, take the last prize card. That is going to wrap it up for match number 1. We are 0-1 for the day. I'll see y'all in match number 2. Welcome to match number 2. I open up with Arven and Munkidori, and then some energy and some energy switch, which is interesting. Not the world's best hand, but by all means, it's not necessarily like a bad hand or anything. I mean, we got Nest Ball, Ancient Booster, Energy Capsule for Brute Bonnet off the Arven, which means I could get some great poison damage down, and I'm up against Hop's Zacian, which is going to be a bit of a tricky matchup to navigate. However, we are going second, so I don't have to worry about the just insta auto loss off Insta Strike or something like that. You know, I got some time to make stuff happen. I'm curious if I can pull off Poison Chain and stop any retreat plays from happening right now. And you know what? Actually, this brings me to a good point. Something I do want to experiment with Darkbox with, maybe for the next video, is playing Precious Trolley. Because I feel like Precious Trolley here would be absolutely insane. And yeah, they attach the energy to Fezandipiti. They're looking for that, you know, that retreat play. I wish there was a way I could shut it down. If I had Janine Secret Art, actually I wouldn't get another Dark Pokemon down, so I don't know if that would work. Could I Secret Box here? I don't think I've got 3 cards to get rid of like that. I think our best play is legitimately just Nest Ball, Ancient Booster Capsule, and just poison the active maybe. You know, I do have Fezandipiti. I don't hate it. It's not great at all, but I guess I've seen worse. You know, this actually might just be a Squawk and Seize type hand, which means that Ancient Booster Capsule was a huge misplay on my part. But we're here. We're trying our best, make stuff happen. This hand is pretty bad, though, so I don't really want to force anything. I think I am just going to Squawk and Seize. Man, I really wish I didn't take that Capsule now. Oh, boy. Oh, well. I mean, hey, you know what? It happens. We got a much better hand now going into the following turn. Sure, I didn't get any poison damage down on Fezandipiti. It wasn't going to change anything anyway since we couldn't Poison Chain. I am going to get rid of Earthen Vessel. Not get rid of Earthen Vessel. I'm going to get rid of Carmine. Play the Vessel and keep Arven Iono. Take a couple energy for my hand for next turn, because I think that play works out best for us, and then pass it here to my opponent. So now they need a couple cards to take the KO. The Perilous Jungle is also a little rough. I mean, nothing I can do about that one since I did go the Squawk and Seize route, and they attach the energy to Duraludon with the Stadium Bump on Postwick. Now my opponent just needs, oh, and Dupwool. They'll actually get Pecharunt out of the active. That's a problem. Especially if they take, like, Squawk or something. No, they take Munkidori. Do you have KO on Munkidori, though? I don't think you do. You have Research. Oh, my lord. When did you play that Duraludon down? Was it this turn? It was this turn. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the evolution and Brave Slash or something. But they are swinging for 90 damage with Postwick. Oh, my god. Wait. 3, 6, 9, 12. No, actually, they're swinging 120, aren't they, with Insta Strike because they have every damage mod out. They got 90 additional damage plus base 30. Yeah, they're swinging KO on Insta Strike. All right. I mean, hey, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we gave it our best go. They're going to put some damage down on the Pecharunt. How do we work around this now? Now they're upper prize cards. We actually could do some shenanigans, some crazy shenanigans. I think I want to throw Pecharunt in the active. Just get some poison chip damage down while I try to build up some energy on Okidogi, maybe. Again, really regretting that Ancient Booster Energy Capsule where it ended up. I think we go Counter Catcher into maybe Fez. I mean, is there a way I could get 2 energy down this turn? I don't think so. I think I just attach 1 Iono, put my opponent down to 5. And then I don't mind falling down 2 prize cards. I've got the bulk to make it through this match, in all honesty. So I'm going to keep the Counter Catcher in the deck, just leave the energy on Okidogi, and just Iono my opponent down to 4. Just give myself a new 6, just to give me something, maybe like a Janine's for the following turn would be kind of nice. No, I get Brute Bonnet. Man, losing out on that Ancient Booster Capsule is really going to be the death of me. I do have access to flip the script, though, with Fez, which is kind of nice. Homie is prized. Okay, I don't have access to that. What am I doing now? This is insane. I don't have Janine's in hand either, but I do have one of my 2 Pokégears, so I could try to dig that out. I think I just go in maybe with another Okidogi, maybe Pecharunt. Honestly, I don't hate Pecharunt. Give me this guy. And then I could hopefully get Janine's off Pokégear, attach Dark Energy to bench Dark Pokemon, manual attach to active, promote Pecharunt, set up that way. She's not pretty. It'll get the job done. I don't have a tool to set up some poison damage on Zacian, although I don't know if that would be too relevant. I'm kind of just going to tell my opponent, hey, you know, you're going to go up 2. We'll see what they Arven for. I don't know what A-Spec they run in this. I mean, I feel like Prime Catcher makes sense. I wouldn't also be shocked if I saw like a Max Belt. Secret Box, I doubt. Unfair Stamp, I kind of doubt. It's an Archaladin deck. I feel like you really don't see those in Archaladin. And you go Ultra Ball, another Hop's Choice Band, which is smart. I mean, you get the Archaladin. You could probably get another energy in the discard pile, so you can accelerate. Yep, there it is. You could accelerate those 2 energies to Archaladin. So now you've got a phenomenal backup attacker. I'm going to need Binding Mochi on Okidogi to swing for KO on that guy. Like, all around, good play. Good play. And they still got the Insta Strike for KO. They could put 30 damage on Okidogi, knock it back down to 220, so that Metal Defender will KO it. Would be the smartest play for my opponent. We'll see if they've got that vision, or if they're going to put the damage on Squawkabilly and try to put Squawk in a position where it could get KO'd, and they get Hops crammed down with the tool as well. God, they just got everything this turn. And yeah, they'll put it on Okidogi. Okay, now here is where I would absolutely love a Munkidori manual attach. Just move that damage off Okidogi. However, I don't think I'm going to pull that off. So I'll just promote Pecharunt, see what I get off the gear. I don't want to Rod yet and get back Munkidori or the energy, just because I want gear to hit a supporter, and I really don't want to ruin my chances of hitting a supporter, especially something like Janine's Secret Art. So we'll wait and see a turn. I get Nest Ball, which again is not Fezandipiti. You know what, though? Maybe here. No, I think actually I wait on the Nest Ball Rod combo for Munkidori. I think I still go gear first, take Janine's Secret Art. There it is. There it is. Okay, so now I can set up Okidogi, take a KO on Zacian, but then I'm cooked from Archaladin. So that is a bit of a problem. And I can't just pass because they have KO with Archaladin no matter what. You know what I could do? This actually is kind of an interesting play. If we go Nest Ball... Oh my god, I did that in the wrong order. Oh my god, I was supposed to Rod first, take Munkidori. Alright, well now I'm committed. Let's just burn it all. I've got a lot of playable cards in hand, right? Yes, I do. Alright, let's get Mew down. We're going for a restart option. We're going to get Super Rod down now. Take Munkidori to energy. I don't think I'll need Pecharunt too much this match. I'll go for Janine's Secret Art. I'll put the energy down on both of these dark Pokemon. So we got 1 and then we got 2. I'll manual attach to Okidogi. Play the Brute Bonnet at this point just to get it out of the hand. Play the Perilous Jungle, get rid of the Stadium, restart for 3. Alright, she was ugly, but we're making it work. Misplaying left and right today. And I get an Energy Switch, which is kind of sweet. I don't think that's going to help me at the moment. But I will definitely be struggling in the following turn. So I'm just going to swing 260 here, take 2 prize cards, tie it back up. But my opponent has a very, very easy way to take 2 more this turn with Archaladin EX. So if we could deal with that next turn, which we get Fez, so that is actually pretty possible. You know what? Maybe if we could get... How much would Pecharunt swing for? You take 4 prize cards. 4 times 6, 240, plus Binding Mochi, 280, plus Poison Perilous Jungle if we could set that up. Honestly, that KO would be insane, especially if they don't bench any crazy Pokemon down on this following turn. If we KO Archaladin, this Cramorant is going to do nothing because my opponent will be at 2 prize cards, so that'll just be a wasted bench space. Alright. I mean, hey, we got options, but no, they got Ultra Ball, so I'm sure they'll take out the Zacian here. They get rid of Hop's Bag. Maybe they take out Duraludon? Just set up another Duraludon the following turn? Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. Alright, that's cool. They still got Flip the Script. Even Iono wouldn't hurt too much here. There's a lot I kind of need to happen. I don't hate Janine's at all. I'm not going to have any damage counters in play, though, to go for that Munkidori route, which I did Rod back the following turn. Just because I did get KO'd in my entirety right there. So I think we promote Mew, just because it's a free retreat. You know, we kind of got everything we need in Mew. And then off of the top deck, we get Bravery Charm. Oh, that's actually a game changer, right? That is kind of nice. I mean, we Nest Ball here. Do we just go Okidogi? Or Bloodmoon Ursaluna? Because if we could poison this guy, My opponent has 2 prize cards left, which means has taken, so they've taken 4. We actually only need 1 energy on Bloodmoon Ursaluna, so he could swing 280 if we get the tool down. You know what? I'll take the Bloodmoon. It also has 260 HP. Smack the Charm on it. Or no, we'll need some Mochi that guy. So then, what do I do? We do have E-Switch, could move the energy to it. Do have Charm. I could press a restart play. I think right now I just want to flip the script, see what I got in hand, because I don't want to play anything yet. And I get Night Stretcher Countercatcher. Okay. That's a little annoying. Just because if my opponent has boss, they do win. However, we just need the 1 energy. So what do I do? Energy Switch. Throw this guy here. Smack the Charm on the active, just beef it up. Or, no, because I can't Charm 3 bench Pokemon. We'd definitely go Countercatcher on this guy, right? 100%. Could have even taken Snorlax just to stall a little bit of time. Restart. Or, excuse me, retreat into Bloodmoon. I feel like Charm here is just kind of useless everywhere. I'll just throw this guy in Pecharunt, right? Yeah, we'll throw it on Pecharunt. Man, it's a shame. The restart did not help me out. I could Night Stretcher, not going to give me anything I can do. I could get an energy down, which just to attach onto Pecharunt actually doesn't feel awful. I am kind of board locked. I am dead drawing a bit too, so this is unfortunate. This has been a rough start to what I was hoping this deck could perform at. We'll swing 240. I can't attack the following turn, but that's okay because I could use Subjugating Chains, go into Pecharunt, and then retreat. So if nothing else, I got that play lined up. We'll take another 2 prize cards. If my opponent has Boss's Orders and they win here, so be it. Not the end of the world. And we get Genesect other prizes, so that wasn't even an option that I could have gone for at any point, which was nice to know because I was thinking like, maybe I shouldn't have Nest Balled for whatever I did. I should have taken Genesect, Lockdown, whatever A-Spec. Nope. Does not matter. Genesect was prized this whole time, just like Fez. My opponent promotes Hops Cramorant, which can't attack because we have 2 prize cards left, and they do go Night Stretcher to take back Fez. They take back Fez, obviously. And then they can flip the script for 3. Oh my god. But now they need an energy to retreat, which they probably have. Boss's Orders is definitely what they're digging for. 8 cards in hand, 21 left in deck. We've seen no Gust this game. I wouldn't be shocked if we see one come out now, unless they play a high Countercatcher build. They go Arven. Do you play Prime Catcher? Is that your A-Spec? If it is, you win. And that's, I mean, hey, that's how it is, man. That's why Genesect is so nice, and prizing it is honestly so detrimental sometimes, but I don't think I played this game as well as I could have. I think, honestly, I played this game a little bit more all over the place. I wasn't as, methodical as planned out, and they go Scoop Up Cyclone! Hops Trace Band. Oh my god. Well, you played Arven. Your A-Spec is Scoop Up Cyclone. I don't think they actually have the KO this turn. They just have a good attack. They're going to Scoop Up Cyclone, Hops, Cram? No, Fez. Take out the prize liability, the 2 prize liability. That's smart. And then probably just pass for turn if I had to take a guess here. Just wait another turn. Wait for us to take a KO so they can bench Fez again. Go flip the script one more time. I will not take the KO. I think the best play for us is just to pass. And they attach an energy to Snorlax, which is not a bad backup attacker if they need that as well. Okay. And they go switch into who? Into Arch Aladdin. Okay. Now is where things get interesting. You go Metal Defender for 220 damage. Now Bloodmoon Ursaluna in the active is a problem. However, we get Boss's Orders. Oh my god, if they left that Fez down. Oh my lord. Well, I can boss up another Pokemon and just wait. Just stall a little bit. Subjugating Chains into Brute Bonnet is what I'm thinking. Right? Just give them some single press Pokemon to figure out. While I boss up one of their Pokemon to buy me some more time. Just give them this guy. Say, hey, here you go. This is yours. Go Boss's Orders. I feel like they played Switch, played Scoop Up Cyclone. I feel like our best bet is on the double here. Just because Snorlax could attack at some point too. Double is going to be a little harder. Still 2 energy to move out of the active. Snorlax is 3, but they do set up a decent attacker with Snorlax, which could swing for KO on some 2 prize Pokemon. I'd rather just take up the double. I'll attach the energy down onto Pech. And then I think we just pass for turn because I have literally nothing else I could do right now. So that is wildly unfortunate. If they could somehow piece together a single prize KO, we do get access to our own Flip the Script. Which would be nice, really, really nice, because then I could also use Countercatcher. No, they're just going to attach the energy to double. 1 more energy attach, and they got the retreat with Arch out, and they get another Wooloo down. Oh no. Alright, how do I dig myself out of this one? I have no clue. Absolutely zero idea. We get a Dark Energy. Oh boy. I mean, I guess if they got game at this point, they got game, right? I attach this energy somewhere just to get it down, I think is our smartest play. Maybe Mew. I think I like Fez a little bit more. Just because I could Janine's E-Switch snipe Wooloo in a certain world. Which would be pretty fun. And then just pass. Although if I do that, I mean, they would still need one energy to pivot, go in with our child in here, we're still cooked. I think this one might be chalked. I'm not sure though. I mean, like, we're in an awful spot. But my opponent isn't in a great spot either. They got Postwick down. Oh man, so they can do 30 more damage with Hop's Pokemon. They got the retreat route into Arch Aladdin. I'm assuming. No, it's a Duraludon. Oh. And they evolve. Okay, to keep the energy in play. Now they got 2 attackers to deal. Do you have boss's orders? You might. That's fine if you do. If this is how I go down this match, that's fine. Take your KO. I need access to flip the script. More than anything. Genesect also going to be a lot more useless just because they already played their A-Spec. If they take a KO, they got Research. Alright, hey, that's not boss. Not boss. They get rid of Fezandipiti and Iono. Fine by me. They go Earthen Vessel. 100% have Gust card in hand. If I could top deck an Iono, that would feel pretty cool. Give my opponent and myself 2 cards. Would also allow me to go Research, then flip the script. They take the energy out with Earthen Vessel. 9 cards left in the deck. 6 in hand. We know 1 is energy. And they just go Metal Defender, giving us access to flip the script. That is huge. All right, now we got to get live. Now we got to get active. We got to draw as many cards as possible. Put together this insane Pecharunt play since we are swinging for 300 damage on the... Oh, wait, no. Actually, we just have game. Here, we're swinging 300. Never mind. Everyone always forgets about the Pecharunt. Digging for what? Digging for what? We navigate these. We don't worry about these. Boom. Pecharunt KO. Don't need flip the script. Don't need restart. Nothing. Figure it out, man. Pecharunt is such an underrated attacker. It's such a forgotten attacker in so many decks. This is why. 1-0-1. Still got, I'd say, a solid record. Let's hop into match number 3. See if we can keep up this undefeated streak we got going. Welcome to match number 3. I am taking a mulligan, thank God, because this hand is awful. Got an awful lead. I mean, yes, I can Pecharunt around it, but it's just the fact that it's in play this early. Really isn't doing me any favors. Which is, I mean, hey, it's a problem, but, you know, one we're going to work around like every other one I've gotten thus far. And my opponent is playing Dragapult. We saw they're playing the Luminous Energy build, so we know they got the Munkidoris in the deck, which is pretty bad, because there's a good chance I could do some good damage to my opponent. They play the Jamming Tower down early. Alright, that works. That was my top deck. Another Dark Energy, just in case I didn't have enough. Let's go Nest Ball. Let's take out Okidogi, maybe. I mean, my opponent didn't really do much either. And then I think all I want to do here is just attach Janine Secret Art just to take an energy out of the deck. I don't want to get rid of Jamming Tower in case my opponent goes Betty Betty Paulfin, thinks of a TM Evo route. I'm just going to leave that down. It's not like I'm doing poison damage and I need Perilous Jungle. I'll pass it on over to my opponent with the Master Ball of Dreepy in the active and see what they got in turn. Now, if we top deck a little Pecharunt EX, I mean, we are in business. However, actually, no, there is a few cards we could get to top deck that. We would need, what? Arven, which we play a bunch of. Nest Ball, which we play a bunch of. Pecharunts, which we play 2 of. Like, you know, that's, yeah, actually, I've seen worse. And they just attach a treat with Dreepy. So my opponent is in a pretty rough spot here, too. We get a Pokégear, which is code word Pecharunt EX in the active. Look at that. And it's like, this was planned from the start. The game just telling me, hey, this isn't a bad hand. Hey, let's use our A-Spec. I don't think I've used it yet. That is nuts. All right, you know what? I am going to take the Mochi, though, because Dragapult EX is a chunky lad, and I do want to make sure I am carrying that guy. So I'm going to get rid of Counter Catcher, Night Stretcher, and the Energy, just because I need the rest of the 3 cards in my hand. I'm going to take a Carmine for the following turn, as well as a Nest Ball. For a tool, I'll take down the Bravery Charm, and I'll take down another... No, I won't take a Perilous Jungle. I have one in hand. I'm just going to rock with this. I like this. And then with the Nest Ball, we go in with Pecharunt EX, which we do have in the deck, which is pretty cool. Did I prize track? Not even a little bit. One could say I just don't believe in it right now. I'm going to Subjugating Chains, throw Okidogi in the active spot, and we're still in a good spot to go Mochi, Charm, whatever we need to, beef up Okidogi, swing for more damage, Perilous Jungle, we got it for next turn. For now, Chain Craze, 260, take our KO on Holucha. Tell my opponent, hey, I am ready to rumble. Despite having an absolutely atrocious hand, I've got a good follow-up for next turn, and I get Carmine out of the prizes cards. So, the Carmine I took with the Secret Box feels a little worse, but it was definitely the safest route, definitely set me up the best. I feel like now that I'm in my third game, I've gotten my flow way better with the Dark Box in the first two, because my gosh, were they messy, and my opponent plays the Judge to give us a new 4, which, I mean, honestly, I'm okay with. It's not the end of the world. I get Pokégear, Nest Ball, Pecharunt. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. They could retreat, go in with Badoo, item lock me. Is that annoying? Yes. Am I going to Chain Craze them like nothing ever happened? Yes. They got 2 cards in hand. They'll top deck their third. You know what? We're going to take this one slow. We're going to do our thing. Not the end of the world. However, I am in a tricky spot because now one swing from Dragapult EX can actually take me out of the game. So that would be problematic. I just got to hope that my opponent doesn't have Rare Candy, Dragapult, Psychic Energy in hand. Which, I mean, that is 3 cards, and they will have 3 cards. So if that is what my opponent pulls, I'd have no words. None. Nothing. What do they got? 3 cards. Come on. Play one that's not any of those 3. So I can feel better about myself. And just win the game. Or play Buddy Buddy Poffin. Keep the game going. I'm in a good spot. No, they concede. Yo, honestly, I feel like that's not a bad third match. Just because this deck capitalizes on getting out of, like, weird situations just like that. I mean, we got an easy switch out. We got good energy acceleration with supporters. We got, like, you know, good draw supporters like Carmine, Iono. I feel like that's kind of how this deck could roll sometimes, you know, is like Okidogi puts on so much pressure in the early game. Right now, we're playing in a slow format. So I feel like if this was against that Dragapult's playing against Gardevoir, they would have had the time to develop their board state. They probably wouldn't have been KO'd as instantly as we were doing. But with Okidogi laying on the pressure early and hard, despite having an awful hand, we clutch up some games that otherwise not many decks might be able to take advantage of. So hey, 2-0-1, not a perfect record. My God, she looked good though for the day. So yeah, go check out the Battle VIP's channel on YouTube and Spotify. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.